Puppy mills fact, Key 1. What is a puppy mill? A puppy mill is an inhumane, commercial dog breeding facility in which the health of the dogs is disregarded in order to maintain a low overhead and maximize profits. What is the HSUS doing about puppy mills? The HSUS takes a stand against puppy mills on all possible levels, including supporting legislative changes, conducting investigations and litigation, and promoting public awareness and education. The HSUS also works with local authorities when called upon to help shut down the most abusive puppy mills. It's important to know that, in many cases, puppy mills are not illegal. In most states, a breeding kennel can legally keep dozens, even hundreds, of dogs in cages for their entire lives, as long as the dogs are given the basics of food, water and shelter. When documented cruelty exists, the HSUS assists in shutting down puppy mills with the cooperation of local law enforcement. The HSUS has assisted in the rescue of almost 5,000 dogs from puppy mills over the past 2 years alone. But while the HSUS is opposed to puppy mills, the HSUS cannot shut down or raid legal businesses. The HSUS is not a government, law enforcement or regulatory agency. Because most puppy mills are not illegal, we need help from the public to put an end to the consumer demand for their product. You can help the HSUS put a stop to puppy mills by getting your next dog from an animal shelter, rescue group or a humane and responsible breeder that you have carefully screened in person. Are there any laws that regulate puppy mills? In 1966, Congress passed the Animal Welfare Act, which outlines specific minimum standards of care for dogs, cats and some other kinds of animals bred for commercial resale. The AWA is enforced by the United States Department of Agriculture. Under the AWA, certain large-scale commercial breeders are required to be licensed and regularly inspected by the USDA. But there are many inefficiencies and loopholes in the system. Only large-scale commercial facilities that breed or broker animals for resale, to pet stores for example, or sell puppies sight unseen, such as over the internet, are required to be licensed and inspected by the USDA because they are considered wholesale operations. Those that sell directly to the public face-to-face, thousands of facilities that breed and sell just as many puppies as their wholesale counterparts, are not required to adhere to the Animal Welfare Act or to any federal humane care standards. Inspection records obtained by the HSUS show that many USDA-licensed breeders get away with repeated violations of the Animal Welfare Act. These violators are rarely fined and their licenses are rarely suspended. Facilities with long histories of repeated violations for basic care conditions are often allowed to renew their licenses again and again. For decades, the HSUS has been a leader in promoting legislative and regulatory changes that would address all large-scale breeding facilities. We also continue to encourage better staffing and funding for USDA inspection programs, which would increase enforcement capabilities. There is a puppy mill in my area. How can I get the authorities to investigate and shut it down? First, please be aware that operating a commercial breeding kennel may not be illegal in your area. But if you have seen specific evidence of cruelty or neglect, the first agency to contact is a local agency with law enforcement powers, such as the local Humane Society, Animal Control Agency or police or sheriff's department. Cruelty or neglect laws vary by state but typically address conditions such as animals without food and water, sick dogs who are not being medically treated or dogs without adequate shelter from the elements. Prepare specific details of your complaint in advance and, after you have made a report, get a case number or contact information related to your case. If you do not hear back from the local authorities within a week, please call them back to ask for an update, but be aware that if there is an ongoing investigation, some information may not be available to the public. If you can't get local help for the situation or are not sure who to call, please contact us. You may also wish to contact the United States Department of Agriculture Animal Care Division and find out if the USDA licenses the facility owner. Only wholesale breeding facilities, those that sell puppies to other businesses who in turn sell the puppies to the public, are required to be USDA licensed. This is a small portion of all the large-scale breeders in the country. Currently licensed breeders and some of their most recent inspection reports are available on the USDA/APHIS website. The HSUS Puppy Mill Task Force Tipline, 1-877-MILL-TIP, is available to anyone with information on a possible crime involving puppy mills, especially information from those with insider knowledge, or from law enforcement officials who might be aware of such operations. If you witness deplorable conditions in person and wish to file a complaint with the HSUS, please call 1-877-MILL-TIP or report it. You can also file a complaint with the USDA. If you have purchased a puppy and wish to report problems to the HSUS, please complete the Pet Seller Complaint Form, PDF. This form allows us to track data accurately and ensure that we have as much information as possible to help us in our fight to stop puppy mills. I bought a puppy and they got sick. What can I do? Step 1. Please take your puppy to a veterinarian as soon as possible, if you have not already done so. Save all records and receipts. Step 2. Prepare your complaint. It is imperative that you put together as much information as possible to support your case. Please gather as many of the following items as possible: name, address and phone number of breeder or pet store, or both, if applicable. Name of kennel, if any. Copies of your veterinary bills. Copies of your purchase agreements or bill of sale. Copies of any registration papers given to you at sale. Photographs or other documentation of your dog's medical conditions. A necropsy report from a veterinarian, if the dog has passed away. A brief timeline of events related to the dog's sale and health problems. Step 3. Contact the breeder or pet store where you purchased the dog. Your purchase agreement or store or breeder policy may provide you with some financial recourse. Please note that many sellers will encourage you to return the puppy for an exchange or refund, but that may not be in the best interests of your puppy. You may have other reimbursement options that do not require you to return the pet. For example, many states have puppy lemon laws that require pet sellers to reimburse a pet owner for veterinary bills up to the purchase price of the puppy, if the puppy becomes ill with a condition that existed at the time of sale. Contact your state attorney general's office to find out more about puppy lemon laws in your state or to report a seller if you feel a law has been broken. For specific advice on how to handle your particular case, consult a local attorney or consider going to small claims court. Step 4. Complete the puppy buyer complaint form online or print out a paper copy, PDF. This form enables the HSUS to keep track of problem sellers and ensures that we have as much information as possible to help us in our fight to stop puppy mills. It also allows us to help other puppy buyers and report chronic abusers to relevant agencies. This information is also compiled for reference and statistical purposes and will help us gather general information needed to advocate against puppy mills. You can also use the PDF version of the form to organize your case for possible further action. Please note that the HSUS is not a government or law enforcement agency and cannot guarantee action on every complaint. Let me know what do you think. Looking forward to your comments.